Hello, and welcome to another episode of US Law Live, US Law's podcast that is created through the help of our corporate partners. I am Pam Halford, sitting here in Dothan, Alabama, ready to spend some time with another great guest. Along with me today is Mike Judy.
Hello. How is everybody?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Lovely. Lovely.
Mike is sitting in Kansas City right now. And also with us is Nick Roush. Hi, Nick.
Morning, everybody.
I like how Nick hand motions as though anyone can see this that is not being recorded.
I gave it the three finger salute, just like good morning, how's it going? I'm your neighbor here in St. Paul. So I think it was good.
Thanks, Nick. That's great. Nick, are
Yeah.
you at your home office right now?
I am at my home office right now. I was chasing after my 16-month-old son all weekend, picking him up, and honest to God, feel old. I tweaked my back. So I've been trying to limit my movement a little bit this week. So
Well, before you hopped on, Mike showed me that he now has to wear glasses because he too is old. So I guess I'm the only young one on the podcast because we also have Chris Torrens joining us.
Chris.
So,
Good,
hi, Chris.
TT.
good morning. I guess I'm wearing glasses and I have a better back than Nick, so I don't know if I'm
That's
old
true.
or I don't know where that puts me in the
Middle
spectrum.
aged? Can
Yeah, I'll
we
take it. Sure.
middle aged? I
I
like it.
mean, CT, if anybody knows anything about you, they know that you just take excellent care of yourself.
That exactly right. There's a lot of caffeine in this system this
Yeah.
morning. I'm prepared.
No bad decisions. You're always making good choices.
Exactly right. Thanks, Mike.
Before we started recording, Chris said that he was prepared to sing on the podcast. So my question is not will you sing us a tune, but if you had to sing us a tune, Chris, what would it be?
Oh boy. I know Nick wants me to say something from the Avid Brothers, so maybe Laundry Room. Would that work for you, Nick, this morning?
I
Would that
would
help
give
your back? Would that help
I
your back?
it would.
Well, Chris, you're with one of our corporate partners who has been with US Law since the very beginning, and that is SEA. I think anybody who stumbled across this podcast probably knows, if they know US Law, they know SEA. But will you fill in those who might have been living under a rock about what SEA is and does?
Absolutely. So you're right. We have been with US Law, I think, for 21 years now. And I actually was introduced to US Law by Mark Solheim at Larson King. So Mark and I had a discussion at the DRI Products Liability Conference when he pitched the concept of US Law. And my partner at that point was Ken Corwin, and Ken was kind of on the fence as to whether or not we should do US Law. And I was the one that pushed us on the side of taking on the sponsorship, and I've been involved with the sponsorship and with the group ever since. So SEA has been in business for 56 years, I believe, is this year. It's a forensic engineering company with 300 employees. 200 of those employees are technical in nature. So 15, engineering disciplines are covered throughout those 200 technical staff members. So kind of give you an idea of the size and depth of the company as it stands today in 2025.
How did you
And I'm
get involved with SEA, Chris?
Oh, okay. So the founder of SEA was my little league football coach. So I was working in pro sports. I was working with the Columbus Blue Jackets as they were coming into Columbus, and I was working for the marketing company that was doing the sales of the PSLs, the seat license, and then doing a bunch of community involvement for the team, and realized that the team didn't necessarily have a position for us at the marketing company. So I went out, started interviewing, and I was walking through a hotel at a rehearsal dinner and ran into my little league football coach and struck up a conversation. And that Monday I was at SEA interviewing and was back Tuesday interviewing and went back Wednesday for another interview. And that was the start of it 26 years ago.
You couldn't land the job after the first interview?
No, not a closer then, like I am now, Mike. Took a while, took a while, but it's been a good run. I didn't think that I would be in the industry, the insurance and litigation industry and engineering for 26 years, to be honest with you. So, but it is a fascinating industry, and I've been blessed to be here for 26 years, to be honest.
Isn't that funny how
Um,
that came around? My partner, Tom Oliver, it's kind of like one of his pitches that he says all the time about how you never know who you're going to meet and what import they're going to be to you. So he says he always chats with people on planes. I would never ever do that. I don't care how important you might be to me. I'm not going to chat with you on a plane, period. The headphones are on for a reason. But I think Tom has a great point, and your path to SEA really demonstrates what he's trying to convince me to do.
Chris, I know we've certainly we've had a number of calls, business related, on experts and things that we need in your neck of the woods. We've also, though, had your team up at least to our office in St. Paul to talk to our attorney team about networking and creating relationships and how to dive into that. And it was one of the best talks I've ever seen given to a group of lawyers, at least at our firm. So maybe you can touch on that, just a little bit on what emphasis you give to the people on your team just about creating relationships and the importance of doing that and how you do it, knowing that that's a big part of your job.
Yeah, so we're pretty passionate in this company, that our why statement to seek truth and educate so that our community finds clarity and is empowered to act. And I think when you talk about community, I think the knee jerk sometimes is, to lean towards the client facing aspect of it, and what you can do in that aspect from a technical standpoint, the origin and cause or the accident reconstruction. But for us, the community is a little bit, that's a broader term, right? And that, we are constantly in our communities, in the school districts, talking about STEM, talking about math and science and being engineers and trying to diversify what an engineer looks like coming out of college. It also means having conversations with you, Nick, and Larson and King about what is your passion. It's not just law. Why are you a litigator? Why are you a lawyer? What drew you to that? And we'd like to be able to pull that out to be able to create a deeper relationship with you and our clients that's meaningful and not just technical, if that makes sense.
It totally is. And I remember when you came to our firm just this last fall, and I sat next to a colleague of mine, Brad Boltman, and your team really had us made an emphasis on getting to know kind of the folks around us, even folks that we probably interact with and see every day, but just to get them to know on a deeper level. And I think that type of relationship building is so important in our industry, whether it is with the clients that we interact with every day or the people within our own teams at work. And so the next question I have, Chris, we're in kind of our next segment here, talking about new developments and things that are happening in your world. I did see a post recently about SEA and how they're growing into, I think it's the digital forensics type field. And maybe that's something you guys have been doing for a while, but I did see that that's something, at least in your end, that's growing. And so maybe you can touch on that a little bit on kind of that growing wing and what you hope that business kind of area grows into.
Yeah, absolutely. But before I do that, I want to go back and that talking about the why statement and our time in
Do it.
Minnesota and Larson King, the entire reason we've been with US Law for 25, 26 years or however many years it is, I guess, is, you know, it's about the relationships and it always has been at US Law. And I think, when you look around the landscape with AI and the automation of everything, you still have to be able to educate a jury. You still have to be able to trust the people that you work with on a daily basis. You still have to be able to trust the people that you're handing off work to. And it's so imperative for us as a company that we continue to forge forward in creating these relationships. And US Law has been the best platform for SEA for that span of time that we've been involved. So,
Why are you trying to steal the host position of this podcast, Chris?
I felt obligated to say it because I just got off the phone with Roger about 25 minutes ago.
No, that was great. So true. So true. But if you will tell us about the digital,
I mean, if we are nothing but excellent at transitions.
yeah.
I would let you transition. You guys, how long have you known me? I'm long-winded. I wasn't done. I had something else to say.
If you want to talk about our why, Chris,
Yeah.
we'll open it up. We got nothing
Yeah.
but time.
So yeah, we went out and acquired a digital forensics team. Mike, they're actually in Kansas City. It's a gentleman that I've worked with and have known for my entire tenure here at SEA. A gentleman by the name of Jack Nevins, who's an electrical engineer by education. And in that process, we just realized that the amount of information that we see on a daily basis in all of our engineering disciplines and all of our practices that we're involved in, that we need to have a better handle on how to keep that information, protect that information, how to get that information better. And this just seemed like a very logical next step for SEA.
Now, are y'all doing that across the country, Chris, or is it specific in one region?
It's across the country, so they'll work with all of our engineering disciplines to talk better about how to extract data, store that data, use that data. And when you look at our disciplines, you're talking about, obviously, Pam, we're pretty active in the vehicle accident reconstruction and transportation space. How are you preserving all of that evidence that you extract from that vehicle? When you look at, U.S. law and the practice areas, from a retail standpoint, if there's a slip and fall case, what are you able to extract from cameras and other, maybe wearable devices that the individual had on? What can you extract from those cameras and those wearable devices, and how can you use that evidence to better build your case and to better tell the story? So we're doing that in every market.
And are you finding there's certain industries that are lagging behind others? You reference transportation, and obviously, those of us that practice in that area know there's a plethora of information that's available and on vehicles and tractor trailers, and it's just a treasure trove of things you can find. But are there other industries that you're finding are kind of behind the curve on digital information and going out and doing those investigations to find the digital footprint of folks, or utilizing other digital technologies as part of their investigation?
I wouldn't say they're behind in the use of the technology. I think they're probably behind in understanding how to extract that information and how to use that information and how to analyze that information, and how to store that information safely so you don't have a spoliation issue. So I think most industries are up to speed in that you have that technology, but I think there is, a bit of a separation as it relates to how you're able to use that data, store that data, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Chris,
So what keeps you up at no, please go ahead, Nick.
No, Mike, please, Mike,
No,
please.
Chris, what keeps you up at night? I guess you're laying there, you're trying to drift off, listening to your tunes. What snaps you out of that and keeps you up at night?
My 18-year-old son who's graduates high school on Sunday, and there's no real structure at the house right now because he's done with class. He's got a job for the weekends, so he's playing poker at a party pretty much every night. So I would say, is that what you're looking for, Mike? What's
Well,
keeping me up at night?
I was more looking from an industry standpoint,
Oh,
from a work standpoint, but
We
that's
get
what I get
personal.
for
We get
asking.
personal too.
right.
Yeah, that's what I get for asking a terrible lawyer question, though. So thank you for calling me out on that.
From a professional standpoint, I think the conversation surrounding AI is a fascinating one. And Pam, I listened to your podcast with Dave Elmore, a good friend of mine, talking about the automation of so many different things and processes. And And we're definitely paying attention to that as a company and how our clients are using it. I think for SEA, what keeps us up at night right now, we're a company that's been fortunate enough to continue to grow and scale. And with a 55-year history, how do you maintain the consistency that your brand is known for in the legal space and in the insurance space? And it sounds cliche, but as you add 20 or 30 technical staff members a year, all from industry, how do you harness the SEA brand to make sure that you're continuing to deliver that, the product that's expected and has been expected for 55 years. So we spend a tremendous amount of time discussing training and, culture and brand here at SEA. And I think that's probably what keeps me up.
Hey, Chris, are y'all using any AI over there?
I would say on a very limited basis, just based off of the nature of what we do from a testifying standpoint, we're not totally comfortable using that for the end product. On the business side, from a business development side, I think my staff is, has a toe in the water for sure, helping write follow up and things of that nature. We have a committee that's looking at every aspect of it from a technical side and from an operations side. But I wouldn't say we're complete adopters yet, and that we don't know the ramifications in the courtroom and with the insurance companies to this
It's
point.
so cool. I mean, like all the things that you can do with it, but good Lord, it's scary too.
It is scary, and we've seen AI backfire on cases where we are on the other side, meaning reports that have been fabricated and things of that nature that have no scientific method approach and being daubered or fried issues on the other side. So hence the reason we remain extremely conservative about adopting the technology.
Hey, where's your son going after graduation?
He is going to the University of Kentucky. So he is accepted into the honors program in the business school there. So we have
Nice.
orientation in like 2 weeks, and then he will be first day I think is August 20th. So seems quite surreal right now.
Do you have any others who will be left at home, kids?
I do. I have a 15-year-old daughter who is terrified that she will be the existing child left and all the attention will be paid to her. All the chores will go to her. She's already negotiating dog walks and, dishwasher detail with me. So she's a little anxious on the chore side right now as to what
Well,
happens
listen,
to her.
at 15 years old, I mean, she's in that spot where y'all won't want her in the house either. So you'll be like, "Fine, baby, you don't have to do any chores, just don't let us see you."
Knock on wood, we haven't experienced that yet, but
Oh, it's coming.
I hear that it's coming soon to a theater near us. So
Mhm.
I mean, just take all that love and attention and put it into driving lessons. I'm sure that'll go real well.
we've decided to take that on this summer too, which it's going to be an interesting summer with all of
Uh,
those activities going on.
yeah.
So
Our oldest is 15, and we are in the throes of figuring out that he has no concept of speed control or turning radius or stop signs or anything, and it is frightening. Absolutely frightening.
who's teaching, you or your wife?
It's a combined effort. I've
Okay.
got more patience with him. She is more motivated to get him out there on the road. So she's the one that's pushing, like, let's go drive. But he wants me then to go drive with him because I am a little calmer as a passenger.
I hope
The
MJ does not listen to this podcast.
Oh, she will get on here and admit it. I mean, she will fully own up to that.
the 15-year-old boy brain is,
Oh, it's
whew,
something.
something to
Yeah.
behold
I
for
mean,
sure.
mine's has not advanced much past 15, so I can relate.
Hence the reason he wants to drive with you.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. Chris, have you been to any good shows lately?
Oh, good question. I am going to see Dave Matthews on Saturday. The last show I think I was at was with you, Nick, with Trampled by Turtles and Avid Brothers, which was an amazing, amazing show.
You say trampled by turtles?
Oh yeah, don't get me
Oh,
started.
come on,
Don't get me
Pam.
don't get me
here's what I
started.
think. Here's what I think is interesting is we are in XL Energy Center in downtown St. Paul, and a man from Baltimore is the biggest Trampled by Turtles fan in the entire arena, as opposed to a band that's from Duluth. I mean, you should have seen Chris Torrens. It was the night of his life.
It was a great evening with good friends from Larson King and a ton of industry clients that were enjoying themselves at the concert as well. So
We got into a debate over who was better, the Avett Brothers versus Trampled. I mean, I'll say the Avett Brothers didn't put on as good of a show as they could have, but I mean, you would see watching Chris Torrens that Trampled just blew their socks off everybody. I mean, it was crazy.
I think I won the debate. I think it was unanimous by the time the concert was finished, don't you? I think
I think
the puppet show kind of distracted.
that was weird. That
It
was weird.
yeah.
That was
But
weird.
Excuse me, trampled by turtles and a puppet show?
Well, the Avid brothers played a concert. They played with the Turtles, right? As we affectionately call them, the Turtles. But the Avid brothers played second, right? Weren't they the headliner?
Yeah, it was
And
second.
they did a puppet show in the middle of the concert, like as the music's playing, there was literally a puppet show going on behind them, and nobody could figure out what was really happening. And Nick was trying to advocate that it was a special performance.
So I've seen the Avett Brothers 8 times. I got into them big in college and then had kind of seen them progressively and seen really good shows at really good venues, kind of far in between. I'd give it probably a B- show. They didn't play all their hits, which I think was interesting, but they somehow, I don't know how it happened in like the last 2 or 3 years, they started introducing these weird puppets into it. And I can't explain it, whether it's like a play on their name, the Avets or whatever, but I think we lost a few people in our group once the puppets came out, including Chris, who looked at me like, what in the heck is going on here?"
Now, but did either one of you wear the t-shirt of the band that you went to go see?
I did not. I did
Thank
not.
God.
But I do have t-shirts that I wear in support of the band, but not on the night of. I'm not that person. Like,
Do
does
Okay,
that
good.
do
Good.
y'all have a name, you people who love the turtles so much? Like, are you the turtle ears or something like that?
that is
The
a good that is a good
port
question.
eye.
Not that I've heard. I don't
Okay.
think I might start that though, Pam. That's not a bad idea. I could be a trendsetter in the turtle world.
Yeah, let's put a pin in turtle ears for now. And
Great band.
Somebody
uh,
copyright it.
It's a
yeah,
great
right,
band.
right now.
You'll have
Yeah.
to give it a shot, Pam, if you have not heard them. They're pretty cool.
I just listened. When we go to end this podcast today, I'm gonna play some turtles.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right,
That's how
Chris,
you get hooked.
you got one band you can listen to for the rest of your life. That's it. No other music, but one band, one musical artist. Who you picking?
I'm
Listen.
probably going to pick the Turtles. Like
Oh,
their whole
whoa!
their whole story, right? So they're a rock band that their car gets jacked and all their equipment gets stolen. And so they can't afford to go out and get speakers and electric guitars, so they go acoustic. And they're trying to learn how to play these instruments, and they're sitting around by campfires drinking bourbons, and someone finally hears them, says, "You're pretty good. Can you play these instruments standing up and without a bottle of bourbon?" And they are just really genuine people. It's really genuine music, and you see them on the music circuit, like all these summer festivals, and they are beloved not just by the people in the crowd that follow the band, but by the artists themselves. Tend to play with them a lot. Like Zach Bryan's a big name, and he's played with them on a number of different occasions and pulls them up on stage, or he'll come out and play with them. So they have a great brand reputation, and the music's super fun. They can go fast, slow. And then, it's starting to be produced at an entirely different level now. The newest album was really professionally done, and it's doing exceptionally well. So I'm going to stick with the Turtles theme. How about you, Mike? What's your favorite?
I mean, I've got to go Van Morrison. I
Okay.
mean, it's just,
Van
and it,
Morrison.
and it goes a lot with kind of what she ended with there. I mean, he's got the slow romantic ballads. He's got the fast-paced, upbeat. He can throw a little jazz in there, throw a little blues. I mean, he can change things up. It's just he's got a wide range of styles and pace, and I just think his voice is incredible.
I didn't see Van Morrison coming from
I
playing
mean,
Judy, but so
I am an
I'm down.
enigma wrapped in a riddle, my man. I mean, the longer time you spend with me, the more confused I leave you, Chris.
Proof.
Pam, Pam, what about
Proof.
you?
Wait, this question is now to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
We
yeah,
we
it's to you.
That'd be Britney Spears.
Wow.
show
Okay.
showstopper. Showstopper.
No follow-ups.
I'm teasing.
Next.
I'm teasing.
Nope.
Although, I mean, I love a good Britney moment, but I'm teasing. I don't know. That's a hard question.
Well, my expectations, having been a US Law partner for this long, is that you answer the question before the podcast ends, Pam, and then you pose the question to me. I feel like, or
James
Mike
Taylor.
did.
I'd be James Taylor.
Okay. It's along
James
the
Taylor.
Van that's along the Van Morrison line.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Nick, what about you?
Ooh, it's got to be country. It's got to be something in the country music field. I love a good country music concert. There's nothing like it. Um, and it's probably Luke Combs. I mean, so I am on Spotify. Like they come out with that like Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year. The last 3 years, I've been like in the top 0.1% of listeners to Luke Combs. So it
Whoa.
has to be. I think right now that's what it's got to be.
And have you seen him live?
Oh, he's amazing live. It's great live. And he just released that album he wrote, I think it was like an EP of like 8 songs, and they're all about him being a young dad. Oh, they just hit you right in the chest. Love it. Love it to death.
How sweet. Chris, we're about out of time, so we just want to thank you for joining us and letting the listeners of this podcast get to know a little bit about you and a little bit about SEA, and hopefully they will see you at an event coming soon.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks for having me. It was good to see you all.
Thank you for listening to this episode of US Law Live. Stay tuned for more great conversations on US Law Live. To learn more about the US Law Network, visit us at uslaw.org.